in the basement.
Uh-uh.
What are you drinking?
Purple drink.
Red Monkey.
Did you go get some?
Yeah, I got 2 growlers full.
Was it really that hard?
I was in Ames, so I did it.
Oh. What were you in Ames for? CDC?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, this is the podcast number 13 for the week of April 30th. I guess.
This is interesting. I like how the attendance of Lucas has increased like tenfold
Since when? April?
right now.
Since the last 2 podcasts.
Yeah, if you look at if your sample size is only 2 podcasts back, Lucas has been here 100% of the time.
If you've only watched the last 2 podcasts,
And the first one.
you only know Lucas.
Yeah.
He's the only one who is here consistently.
Who?
Me.
Lucas. He's the most consistent participant if you've only watched the last 2 podcasts and the first one.
Yeah. After opening the windows, it's dropped to 79 degrees already.
Oh, that's not bad.
My air conditioner's fucked.
So if you didn't know, it's like 85 degrees today, and Matt's air conditioner broke.
This was the first time all year I turned it on.
I want to turn mine on.
Since last, I don't know, whenever it stopped being hot after I bought my house in October.
You had
So probably
your
not that
air
long ago.
conditioner on in October.
Yeah, you do know in like October through
Through August.
Through August.
through whenever of last year. Is it like August, September, October? Those are all pretty warm months, or they can be.
October is usually a transition month.
I ran my air conditioner in October last year.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I usually keep the house at like 71 degrees.
I keep mine not that cold.
I keep mine at like 55 in the winter. At least that's where I set it. I don't know. I live on the 3rd floor, so it definitely doesn't stay at 55.
I wish mine was that good. I set mine at 71, and it's still cold in my apartment. I don't get a lot of radiant heat.
Did I tell you the story about when our house burned down and then we were living in those apartments in Tabor? And we went to a baseball tournament, and Marcus and I left the air conditioner on full blast at that place because we were trying to see how cold we could get it. And we forgot to turn it off, and it was an all-day tournament. So we left at like 8 a.m. and got back at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and it was like 50 degrees in that apartment. And it was like 95 degrees outside. It was like walking into an ice box.
Could you refrigerate?
How did you
your
not
stuff
lock
in
that
the
thing
apartment?
up? That's what I want to know. That was a good air conditioner.
Yeah, how did it not freeze?
Ran all day.
That's pretty good.
Denzel
You know-
Washington's hauling some ass.
You know what you need a good air conditioner for? The Galaxy S4.
Mm.
Is
What's
it gonna?
that?
I don't know. Actually, you would need a heater because it's so cold. Since Pat's not here again, I guess we're gonna have to do the
I
HTC
really-
One review.
Damn, I want to know. I'm thinking about taking this job, and if I do that, I'm gonna switch carriers.
And go. Who are you switching to though?
Probably Sprint.
Oh, okay. So I think Sprint has or is going to be getting both of them.
Yeah, they will. They've got the HTC One now, except it's gonna take forever to find a black one. I feel like they were out of stock online.
Well, yeah, but by the time it'll be out a couple months by the time you're looking at it, so
Yeah.
you probably have better luck. I mean,
I
if you
don't
need any reason to not buy an HTC One, you should just read the Samsung Galaxy S4 reviews.
Is
Which
it?
Have been pretty
Is the
good
S4 smaller than the S3?
No. Well, not really. It's about the same size.
Pretty soon we're just going to be carrying TVs.
I know, like this fucker's almost up to tablet size. Like every time somebody who hasn't seen my phone sees it, they about shit a brick.
What
Well,
phone?
what do you have?
The S3.
Oh,
It's
yeah. So
huge. Like,
the S4 is basically design-wise, it looks exactly the same as the
are you
S3.
taking a picture of this?
No, how big is it compared to mine?
Oh, yeah, hold it up to the
Here,
camera.
I'll hold it. I'll hold mine up to the screen. Well,
There
yours
you
is
go.
like 8 inches longer than mine if I hold it up to the screen. So
Yeah.
No, that's for there's been some reviews that have come out. It's been not very exciting because it looks exactly the same as a Galaxy S3.
how is it
very exciting?
how is it like nothing I've ever seen before then?
So Samsung claimed that the design of the Galaxy S4 is nothing like you've ever seen before.
It looks identical.
It looks really
Except for the fact
really
that it looks
close
exactly the same as the Galaxy
to the
S3.
one I'm playing.
And it has
I'm holding them
almost
up.
the exact same specifications on almost everything.
But it's nothing you've ever seen before. If you were born yesterday, maybe.
Use your imagination.
I hate that it's white too.
The S4, you can get it in black.
White's better than this shitty blue that the S3 came in.
Agreed. I want a black.
Oh,
Like, who wants shitty blue?
what's wrong with blue, man?
Black or white? That's it.
My phone is blue.
Maybe gray.
My phone is blue.
I
It
guess
sucks.
I agree. I hate it. Well, it doesn't matter because it's buried in a ballistic case, so you can't really tell. But
Then what does it matter what color it is?
because I know.
That's all that matters. So, yeah, some reviews came out. Basically, everyone has said that it's really nothing new. There's a lot of software changes that they made to it. It does have a better camera in it, but the camera is just like every other Galaxy Samsung camera, where it does really well in bright light, and that's about it. Don't ever try to take a picture at night.
Well, it's a goddamn cell phone.
Yeah,
Sure.
but
Goddamn cell phone.
I had a pretty decent picture the other night of our new Iowa State flag.
When we were at the game this weekend, Tori's brother took a picture of the field, and I took a picture of the field, and hit on his iPhone 4. I don't know which one he has, but it was like way better than my Samsung. I don't.
No.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
see,
The iPhone cameras suck ass.
It was a fucking clear picture.
Probably
were you
just
looking
the
at it
better
on the
screen.
screen? Yeah, that's probably your problem.
Well, that's fine. I mean, compared side by side, they were.
I mean, the biggest difference though is that it's not that you're trying to take night pictures all the time with the Galaxy S4 or your cell phone or something. It's just that the HTC One has better low light picture taking, and that's actually what the majority of my picture taking is when I'm in my apartment, and it's usually fairly dark in my apartment. That's when I'm taking most pictures. So for me, low light is actually.
Yeah, because you're taking pictures of your wiener.
I have to send them to someone, so.
I'm just glad I don't receive them.
Yeah, don't send it to me.
Oh, just wait. You're on the rotation. I randomly hit a number in my phone book, and that's whoever gets it.
Oh, good. I can't wait till my number's up.
I have a random number generator that I pick my contact based off of.
What is this? Phallic roulette?
Something like that. Speaking of Google, the Google Android App Store updated by Google.
Oh yes.
So if you
We're
guys
talking
remember,
about interesting things that I want to talk about. I gotta go change my laundry.
that is not interesting. We can talk. Let's talk about this one. The next one is about space.
Yeah, I don't know anything about space. You and Matt go off on that.
It's pretty dark, I hear.
Are you gonna talk?
I guess he was gonna leave now.
Are you gonna talk about the 20,000 applicants? Or is that not what you're talking about?
No, I had
Alright.
two other things.
Never
Do you want to
mind.
talk about 20,000 applicants?
What were you gonna talk about?
Well, first of all, Virgin Galactic had their first successful test flight of
That
their
was my
rocket
other
plane.
guess.
So Virgin Galactic is Richard Branson's company or
Yeah.
co-owned company, I guess.
Yeah.
And
He's like the guy. I don't know. He looks kind of scruffy
yeah,
and
guy
like,
who's like, I got a lot of money.
yeah, old but young. Cause I don't know. Cause money.
He's just like, I spend it.
Money.
He's like, I got a lot of money. I'm just gonna build a human space rocket.
Yeah.
The main idea is the galactic, what do they call it, Spaceship One or something like that, real original name, is that it gets hoisted up into the air instead of launching from the ground like a typical rocket. It's actually attached to the undercarriage of an airplane, flown up to a certain altitude, and then it's dropped, I believe, or it rockets off or something like that.
Like an
And
X-15
Yeah, like an X-15 type
or an
thing.
X-1.
So then it fires off its rockets and it flies around, goes out to space if it wants to. The test flight, it didn't. I think it only went up to like 10,000 more feet than what it was flying at
Yeah.
with the airplane. But it did it successfully. It didn't crash, I guess. So
Well,
that's a good
A plus.
thing. But I mean, I guess the question is, if all they're using it to do is just fly, couldn't they just make this into like a really awesome way to fly in an airplane across the world for really quickly?
I thought that was what the super scramjets were for.
Well, yeah, that's basically
Think you
what
like-
it is, isn't it?
Huh? Oh,
Isn't
I
that
don't know what
basically
the engine on this thing is.
Well, it's not a scramjet, but it's a rocket, but it's doing the same thing. Where they launch them. Matt's way too involved in his TV show, movie.
I'm listening. I just don't have anything to say about it.
Okay, what about NASA?
The news is basically they did it. Done.
Congratulations. They did. But this is amidst other companies that are doing it as well. They're private companies like, what is Bezos' company? Or not, is it Bezos that has one?
You're talking about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
What the hell his name is. And it's SpaceX.
SpaceX, thank you. I could not think of it.
Bezos is Amazon.
Yeah, but he does the same type of stuff. He just does a bunch of random junk. And
If I had like $11 billion, I'd probably just spend it on stupid, no, well, not stupid, but projects as well.
What is this 8 o'clock crap?
What the hell are you
Sorry.
doing, Dave?
Joining the hangout?
No, I mean, like, what does 8 versus 9 matter?
Well, considering I just got home from work not too long ago.
Oh my
It does.
god.
He thought he'd just split the difference and go 8:30.
Well, we're done.
Dave will be here from 8:30 to 9:30, whether the podcast is still going or not.
Is that a
I will
problem?
be done when I say
No. It's your call.
The next thing about space, though, is NASA extends their contract with the Russians to fly them to the space station.
Yep.
Because apparently we don't have a plan. They extended it through 2017, though. So that's
SpaceX needs to get in on their shit.
so it's another 4 years, and it's going to cost $424 million.
Wish I had that.
A lot of money is.
That is a lot of money. And NASA's also said that they are committed to launching U.S. astronauts aboard domestic spacecraft as soon as possible. So hopefully that happens before 2017. Otherwise, we'll pay another $500 million to the Russians.
No problem.
No big deal, guys. It's cool.
Is no
I wouldn't.
problem.
I wouldn't pay $500 million to ride in a Russian space station.
A Russian
for sure.
space station?
Shut up. You know what
They
I mean.
brought that bitch down a long time ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $500 million to ride in one either. It's probably at the bottom of the ocean.
I wouldn't.
Haven't
pay
you
that.
seen
I was gonna say, I
Armageddon?
wouldn't
That
pay
shit
$10.
blew up. That shit went up in Armageddon.
They just blew it up.
Yep, Russian
That's-
space station blew up.
They just launched a rocket.
Yeah,
into it
'cause
and said you're done.
Lever broke.
Lever broke.
Pull lever.
Let's do games.
Well,
We got a
the
big game
asteroid
section.
kind of had a part in that blowing up, so can't blame it on the crappy Taiwanese construction.
They're all made in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It was probably made in China and shipped to Russia. Games. Well, if you're talking about games, we could talk about Razer's new voice communication.
All right, let's roll from there. Yeah, let's just keep going.
So, Razer, many people are familiar with. I know we use TeamSpeak 3 or Ventrilo or some other application to do voice chat while gaming, but Razer has now announced their own service to kind of compete with them and offer a sort of low latency, non-intrusive voice chat to their.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are they gonna do that somebody else isn't already doing?
So the thing
It's
that I
free.
found, well, most applications
So
are
is
free.
TS3 and Ventrilo.
Ventrilo is kind of free up to 8 people if you host your
TeamSpeak
own
is
server.
about the
and you get
same.
paid for it.
How often do we use that many people?
We
I mean,
don't.
well, I understand that, but we're talking about. I'm
Do we-
looking at it as an aspect for what can they offer us.
Well, do you actually? Does Razer Comms actually allow unlimited users, or is there a limit? Do we
There's,
know?
as far as I've used it. As far as I'm aware, it's unlimited. Basically, they're using it as a marketing tool. There's a little ad that pops up at the bottom of the screen saying, "Hey, you should buy this because it's awesome and it's ours." So you should.
No thanks.
Yeah. So I guess the other cool feature though that it does have, and Dave, you might know more about this. I did install the program to try it out, but I stopped because it requires you to have an account, and I didn't want to sign up for an account. But it's supposed to do like game overlay as well.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at as the overlay here.
The overlay is massive.
It looks
That
huge.
is my biggest complaint. Like,
Can
the
you?
overlay takes up a quarter of your screen.
Yeah.
Put it up on our screen.
It looks like
I don't have it installed on my work laptop.
you could do a minimized one. It looks like, but
But if you want to bring
Even-
up the overlay,
even that. No. It was an overlay, but it was an eighth of the screen instead.
and I like having my chat windows on a second screen, and when I launch a
Yeah.
game that's supported, it automatically moves the window into my main screen. And that was annoying.
Yes. See, that's just it. I run TS3 on the other screen.
Right. So I mean, I understand the thing I like about a chat overlay though is like you could do the text chat, but I mean, does that compete with the Steam overlay at all, Dave? Is there any issues with that, or?
It's a different. You can bind a different key command, so it's a different overlay. It
Okay.
provides the same functionality as a Steam overlay.
So I mean, I understand wanting to do text chat in like a voice server because you're not always friends with everybody that you're going to be gaming with, for example. But I mean, do you really need text chat when you already have voice chat? Like, do you use it a lot?
They're also setting it up as kind of like a lobby area, so there are predefined games already in it, so you can associate a certain channel with a game, and so
Gotcha.
and you can join a ton of different channels. So you might be in your TF2, you might be in your Chivalry, you might be in your League of Legends, you might be in your WoW or StarCraft channel, and see who's in there. You might be just sitting in the lobby, and then you can text chat with somebody, kind of like an IRC type situation, and communicate with them. You can set up games and groups, and then you can make different channel groups, kind of like you can in any other voice communication, so you can segment yourselves.
Right. So like I said, you have to have an account. When I tried to sign on, you have to have an account to actually get into the program.
Yes, you do.
Does that dump you into just a massive server with
No.
everybody on it, or do you pick, or?
Nope, you can either choose to join one. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it as much to see if there are. I'm sure there are already groups out there, but you aren't put into a default channel. You can create your own channels, and you can password protect them. So if we wanted our own channel with just us, you can do that. Or
You can't host your own servers, though, right?
Right. That was my next thing, though, is it doesn't look like they have dedicated server support, though.
They host all the servers.
Right.
Everything is done through them.
So you would have to have all of your stuff run through Razer, as opposed to if you want to host your own.
Yeah, but a lot of people right now are using the Skype, especially for League of Legends. They'll use the Skype team functionality or group, so you can make impromptu groups, and this makes it a little bit easier. And Skype's kind of crappy for
Skype is awesome for one-on-one, and
it is.
That's about all she's got.
It does an okay
covered.
job with the groups as well, but this is more.
Well, that's just voice chat. I'm sorry. I was talking video chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for voice, Skype does work pretty well for groups. I mean, we've done it before, multiple times, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like we've kind of all started using TeamSpeak, and that's kind of been what we've been stuck with.
That's because we've got access to a very nice internet connection, because a voice server like that can take a lot of bandwidth real quick. So, I mean, if you start getting 10, 15 people into a group, a standard home connection won't support that, which is where our very nice connection comes into play.
Well, that's as long as the server actually stays up, though.
Yeah, I was down all fucking weekend.
Yeah, I know. I was aware, and the maintenance person was not around to fix it.
Well, at least in the long term, it looks like our maintenance guy will be there a while, so.
Well, that may be true. As long as he can still afford to be there. We do not pay said maintenance person, unfortunately.
Shh, don't give him any ideas.
I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay him to do what they do.
I mean, he'd probably owe if I paid him, he'd probably end up owing me money for all the downtime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't want to be signing a service level agreement.
How many hour response?
Yeah, I want the SLA to be 1 hour for all of my service calls.
Oh man, you're gonna be paying out the ass for a 1 hour SLA though.
Well, yeah, but he's not gonna make them. And the payback rate is 5 times if he misses, and then it increases twice, double.
Oh my god!
By 2 every extra 5 hours.
You do have a hard bargain.
Well, then I think we should just keep it free.
What else are we talking about?
Since we're on games,
Razer shit doesn't interest me.
No, we're done with Razer. How about Eve? The Eve Online developer is building a virtual reality dogfighting sim with the Oculus Rift.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm not exactly sure, but if it's part of Eve, but it doesn't sound like it is. It's just kind of set in the Eve universe.
There's also going to be an Eve Online TV show.
And apparently there is going to be an Eve Online TV show.
I put the link in the notes just now.
For the TV show?
Yeah, that's what I was working on.
What is the TV show going to do?
It's gonna be. I think they're gonna make it like an overarching story, but it's gonna try to cover player experiences.
So like the crazy stories of like the stealing the big capital ships and the guy stealing money and all that stuff.
Yeah, the banker who got millions and millions of credits and then just left.
So,
dude, I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened at a parking garage this weekend.
What?
Said $15 to park, so we park, and there was the color run was going on, so everybody was parking in there, and as everybody was leaving, there was no attendant. The gate things were all up, and there was just a guy standing there, and he was like $5.
Holy shit!
And everybody was just paying him because it was $10 less. I'm like, I think that guy just stole your money and a whole lot of other people's money. I mean, he could have been a parking lot attendant, but
I highly doubt it.
The fact that he wasn't standing in the booth and the gates were all just up, and he had a stack of 5s about that thick.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
why would you give him money?
Oh my god.
Because he looked like he looked like he was supposed to be
It's a
there,
Little
and it was
Rascals phenomenon.
and it was $10 less than what you expected to pay. The sign said 15, so he said 5. You're like, hey, I'm saving $10 when really you just cost yourself 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
As we pulled out, I was like, you realize that guy was probably just jacking money from everybody.
You could have parked there for free.
So
But I mean,
Is there?
put yourself
Wait,
in that
hold on.
put yourself in that
So,
situation.
did he say-
You're gonna tell me that you're gonna go fuck you, no, and drive off and risk
Well, if it looked like he didn't work there, yeah.
He didn't really look out of place, though. It was after the fact that I was like, I don't know if that guy legitimately
Also,
worked
it
here or
says
not.
15. What's he doing standing there? Did he say $5
Because-
for parking, or did he just say $5?
He just said $5.
That's
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
He never even lied. He just said.
So then, right? So can he even get in trouble for that?
That's what I was asking
Like,
the other day.
at
But
that
yeah,
point,
I'm
he
sure
could argue he was begging for
impersonating
money.
somebody else, though, like he was
Not,
obviously.
Did he
You could
say
argue he wasn't
$5 to park
impersonating.
here? He could easily argue he was begging for money.
I don't think so.
$5, please.
I don't think so. Not the way it was set up. Like it was, if he was stealing money, it was very obvious that he was pretending to be a parking lot attendant, which I'm sure you can't do. Like you can't. He was standing at the exit of the parking. Like it wasn't like he was out on the street or something. You know, he was very obviously pretending to be someone he's not.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty
That's what
sketchy.
he was doing. But
Did he have a cardboard sign that was written in
no,
black marker?
he was dressed a little nicer than a homeless person too.
Did he have a
That's
Did
the
they have a
key.
grocery cart behind him with all of his belongings?
No, but it's still, the situation wasn't far fetched. Like there was a huge event downtown, so they may have just opened it up and dropped prices.
But it's weekend. Usually weekend parking's free.
I don't know.
And usually, if
Not
they're running out
usually.
of parking spaces, they jack the prices up.
Yeah. Although usually for
This
events
guy.
like that, you usually pay beforehand or something like that, don't you?
That's just it. Is like there was no tickets to take. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was somebody stealing money.
Someone actually, it's an elaborate scheme. They actually built the
$15
parking
sign.
ramp. Yeah, they built a parking ramp and then started charging people to enter, and then instead of charging that, they just take their money at the end and say $5.
Yeah. No.
So tell me more about this TV show, though. Is it like gonna be talking about Eve as a game, or is it just gonna tell
I think it's gonna.
stories like
I think it's gonna.
not a game?
It's gonna treat it like a live action. This is something, a sci-fi
Okay.
series.
So it's gonna like tell an actual story, not
I think
in the game, blah 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 happened. This is how it played out.
no. It would be like they would make a live action or CG. They would tell the story that way. It wouldn't.
Like
They wouldn't talk. They wouldn't talk
person's
about it.
point of view, though.
Yeah,
right?
they would just
Okay.
make a character who went
Gotcha.
through the events.
That actually might not be too bad.
It's like all of those TLC shows, 1,000 Ways to Die or something like that.
No.
I've never watched any of those.
You don't know what you're missing out on.
Apparently, the interesting thing I thought though. So I mean, back to actually this game though, is that he's building a dogfighting sim with Oculus Rift though, which
Yeah.
sounds freaking sweet.
Is it still dogfighting in space?
Yeah, it's like I'm assuming it's going to be similar to the big battles that happen in Eve, but
Just
it's going to be
mentions that
like
what it's
first
called.
person. But it's going to be first person. You're driving a ship and dogfighting. And yes, I think it is still called dogfighting.
Matt, your phone's ringing.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
been a
that
while.
shit?
Fuck! Give me my.
Your phone is taking over.
Yeah, it's going off for the podcast at 9 o'clock.
Well, I should have updated the time. I'm sorry. My
This
bad.
piece of shit phone.
Good thing you only have another year left.
No.
So I guess no one cares about Oculus Rift anymore.
Nope.
I do.
Matt's not feeling
Well,
it.
I mean, Star
I think I've made it quite
Citizen.
clear that I want it.
Star Citizen was the big announcement of the dogfighting thing. That was the Kickstarter that raised
was it?
$9 million.
Were they doing it in Oculus Rift though?
I mean, it wasn't specifically stated, but
Dave's is making shit up.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Star Citizen is like Eve, but done from a first-person point of view type thing.
yeah, that's what their kind of goal was.
Really?
Well, kinda.
They wanted to do a first-person dogfighting, so they like, hey, let's
Oh.
kickstart it and see if we can
See if Dave can freeze.
get any money. And they ended up getting $9 million plus develop other like studio funding.
Well, that actually the guy though? Was he? Is this the same project? Maybe.
Star Citizen is made
No, it's not the same project.
Okay.
in the same since the guy created Freelancer, it'll probably be very much like that stuff and Wing Commander.
Okay. Gotcha. So totally different, but kind of like a copycat of that type of idea. Then it sounds like. Whatever. Whatever, because Witcher 3 apparently dropped the proposed multiplayer for their game.
I really need to finish 1 so I can start 2 and finish that.
Well, I thought. What do you mean dropped?
So Witcher 3, I get it's
There
in
was a lot of
development
talk
right
about adding.
I thought they said a long time ago that the game didn't need multiplayer.
I think they did, and then they said they were going to add it, and then now they're saying, well, just kidding, we're not.
They explored adding a co-op type style to it, but they're like, meh. We're good at making these awesome games, so.
I mean, I don't think that's too bad of a thing. I mean, I don't really care if it's not going to be a good multiplayer. Don't include it.
I agree.
There's been so much of this make everything multiplayer crap that if it's not going to be good,
There's no
I don't
point.
want to play it. Yeah, I'm not going to play it anyway. It's just like Assassin's Creed has a multiplayer. I don't play it. I don't buy the game for a multiplayer option.
Some people do, though. I mean, I know a couple people who played Assassin's Creed Online. Just wasn't my style.
I mean, that's not really why I'm buying a lot of those games, though, either.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it might be cool for about 10 minutes.
And then you have to buy the game day one, so there's a large multiplayer population, so you don't get owned.
Right.
And I'm not buying Assassin's Creed day one.
Well, that's a good point.
I did,
It's because you're a console.
but I didn't on the last one. You can't just keep shitting out games over and over and over again, and
Sure they can.
not for me to buy it.
How many COD games did you buy?
Two,
All right.
maybe 3.
What?
Did you have... You did more than
Modern
3.
Warfare 2.
Nah, he might have had only 3.
Modern Warfare 2.
Black
Lost.
Ops and 3,
Yeah.
and I barely played 3. That was just a bad purchase.
Matt, get Anthony some
Well,
alcohol.
I'm not getting him
I'm
anything.
kidding.
He's getting it himself.
So,
He's in the basement.
and I guess the last piece of game news
Matt's watching the movie.
is Thief. So if anybody knew, Thief was doing a reboot for their third game, and apparently they've run into some development issues,
Like,
like not having anything done,
That's not a development issue.
and now they
That's a
have
productivity
half-finished
issue.
game,
when did they start?
all like 5 years ago.
How do they not have anything done after 5 years?
Because they messed things up.
Because they started making it Assassin's Creed style, and people were like, no, this sucks, we need to start over with something new. And there's a big argument among management on what it's supposed to be like.
So
And
apparently the project has had difficulty holding on to leads and senior level talent, resulting in multiple conflicting visions and many do-overs of entire sections and gameplay mechanics. And last year, Square finally put its foot down and made a demo, but that was about it. They don't really actually have a game working. They dumbed the game down, I guess. They heavily modified the Unreal Engine 3.
How does this happen? Like,
I didn't even know what engine it was, and I was gonna guess Unreal.
I mean, I get sometimes things get away from you, but how do you get to the point where you go, oh shit, we don't have anything done and now it's our deadline? Like, how do you not know that you're 6 months behind or 8 months behind?
The problem is if they announce it too early. That's the problem.
Well, that's fine, but like, why? How does it?
when you're
Why
pulling
isn't
from-
this an issue that comes up right away, and you're like, we can't make that deadline anymore? Like,
Because management does not believe the engineers.
when you pull in an IP like Thief that has a very storied and dedicated history behind it, and you try to make it a game like today's Call of Duty, where it has a very broad appeal to it, people who are the dedicated fans will hate it, and they'll get upset. So you have to find the balance between your
I
target
get that
market
concept.
and broad appeal, but the way a lot of gaming is seen right now, especially from the big studios, is the shotgun approach. We'll try to target everybody, and then you target nobody, and you fuck up.
Yeah, but
And so that's where a lot of the insiders are saying the
that's
issue.
not the point, though. My point is that we're building a building, and I can tell you right now, we're 3.5 months behind. Like, that's just a fact that I can run numbers and figure out. Like, how can you not know you're X amount of months behind, and why not just say it? Like,
Because it's really, really hard with development.
This
okay.
guy.
That's
Because it's very, very hard to estimate how long it's going to take to do something.
I would say that's probably true. I mean, we've run into this issue too. I mean, we're building our stuff right now, but when we were in development, I mean, we were 4 months behind where we were supposed to be, and it's hard because project management doesn't always.
Did you know you were 4 months behind?
I mean, it's sort of. I mean, there's
Right.
obviously reviews that are done to figure it out, but they're not saying that they're still gonna. I mean, they know they're behind. The game has just fallen apart. They're just basically. They know that they just don't have a solution for it.
I don't know. I guess.
And if you have a lot of
I would
people who
expect. I would expect somebody to come forward and be like, "We're never going to make that."
Well,
Like,
that's
let's-
what needs to happen.
Let's figure
Either
something
we're gonna
out,
do
as
it or we're
opposed
not.
to getting to the finish line and going, "Well, we're not going to release this now because we only put together a half-crocked piece of shit game."
Just
Shit, you could
half-cocked.
save everybody a ton of time and money if you're like, "We're never going to make that." As opposed to what Abomination just came out recently that.
Well, because probably a lot of the times they can't afford to. They probably are banking on this game, so they can't just say, "Oh well, we're not going to do it because we have nothing else to do."
Good luck. You can polish a turd all you want; it's still a turd.
So apparently, it took them. They had that demo. It took them 10 months to do the press demo, and even with that, the game resembled the initial concept, but apparently, it doesn't load inside the current engine, and they turned off non-playable character AI, and the engine apparently would crash when there are too many characters on the screen.
Oh, good.
So they're obviously really close to being done. Probably not.
Just saying, I would lose the $100 as opposed to trying to convince the four of you that a turd was worth $35 to you. Just saying. You let it go. That's money. That's money you lost. You learn the lesson. You walk away. You don't try to sell shit. and I'm not gonna tell you like it.
Well, I mean, if they could actually finish it, though, I mean, if it's shit right now, but they're like, well, you know what? We finally figured it out. We got this. We got the lead.
That's fine. Ask for an extension.
Then and just say, well, it's going to take us another 2 years. That's fine. But the problem is we never get that in a lot of these cases.
2 years is a lot of money.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I thought that these looked really good. I thought it looked like an awesome game. From what
So
I
did
saw.
Aliens. Like 6 months before it was released, the game looked really awesome, and then Lucas got his turd.
That's true.
I'm glad I didn't buy that.
What turd?
Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Oh,
That was disappointing. I was really looking forward to that one.
I actually really was looking forward to that too, and then it sucked. So, any case, moving on.
Can you preload Blood Dragon at all?
not aware. Not that I'm aware.
Well, that comes out tonight, doesn't it?
Not that I am aware of.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to play it.
I would like to, but I haven't played Far Cry 3 yet, and I don't
You
even
don't
own
need
it.
Far
I don't
Cry.
even own. I know that, but it came from the same vein.
I'm probably going to get Blood Cry 3 or Blood Dragon.
Blood Cry.
Blood Cry.
Blood Cry 3.
There's the name of the podcast for you. Blood Cry 3.
Far Dragon.
And the
Blood
game,
Dragon.
the game releases in 16 hours. So
When can I pre-order Saints Row 4? That's what I want to know.
America.
Exactly. Do I get anything for actually pre-ordering Far Cry 3 or not?
You mean
No.
Blood Dragon?
Yeah,
Far
Blood
Cry
Dragon.
3 is already out. You can't pre-order
God
that.
damn it. What, can I pre-order
You can
Blood
post
Cry
order
3?
it.
Blood Cry 3.
Far and Lucas, you know, Blood Dragon has nothing to do with Far Cry 3.
I know.
Yeah. That's why I'm going to get it. I think it looks hilarious.
Far Blood Cry Dragon.
Make that dragon cry. Let's see. I really don't care. Oh, did you guys hear about that new gigabit internet that's going out in Virginia, I think?
For $35.
For $35.
Wow.
Dude, that's
Holy
better.
cow.
That's better than
Cheap.
Google expanding their stuff into Austin.
That's
I'm moving to.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crushing my internet bill.
I mean, I thought that $100. What was it?
Hey,
$100 a month for Google gigabit was pretty
I'm just
good.
hoping that this becomes a trend.
Well,
If it comes to Iowa.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to catch on a little bit.
AT&T's announced in Austin in response to Google, so
Right. I mean, I think it's putting a lot of pressure on those companies that are advertising that they have the fastest speeds.
Good. Suck a fatty.
and
People are realizing that they don't have the fastest speeds.
Comcast magically had more bandwidth to give people in Kansas City after Google announced. I mean, it was only like a 20% increase, but they gave it to people for free. They're like, hey, you have now been upgraded to this. You can all restart your routers
Yeah.
because we don't want you to leave us. Please
Oh,
don't
buddy.
leave us.
I mean, the most ridiculous thing is there are times like that, but then you also have people like, I think it was, Time Warner who came out and was like, oh yeah, our customers, they don't really want gigabit.
Oh, okay. If they told me I didn't want gigabit, I'd say go to hell.
No, they said customers don't want to pay for gigabit.
Yeah, because they charge an
Customers don't want to
obscene
pay
amount
what
for it.
we
Because they're
want
going to pay
you to pay.
they're going to charge $200 for it.
No, that's probably more like $500 for it.
Yeah, I don't want to pay what Warner wants me to pay for gigabit.
I mean, they're basing their demand for gigabit based on their current pricing scheme, and it's like, well, duh, nobody's gonna pay.
Yeah, you're completely overpriced.
Yeah, no one's gonna pay ridiculous prices for your gigabit, so they're not gonna even try. But if you had it, people want faster speeds. I would say. I mean, as evident by the Google rollout and Google expanding to Austin as well as AT&T, and
It's not going to be where I
now
want
this
to live.
company.
It doesn't come down far enough. It's not in Lenexa, Kansas.
Go just
Maybe
run
you
your own
should
fiber
move.
line.
It's
You know
on-
how to lay fiber, don't you?
It's like downtown. No. Although I know somebody who does now.
There you go. Just get them come out there, lay some fiber for you.
There you go.
I'd be interested in it. I mean, if I could at least get like double
Anthony,
my...
the movie's on again.
It's starting up.
What movie?
Oh, yeah.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
It's 9 o'clock. That's not gonna be over till like.
Unstoppable, brew.
That's why it's on again, because it's unstoppable.
Yeah, you can't stop
It's
it.
just gonna
It's
keep
the
playing forever.
Unstoppable movie.
It's now the Unstoppable channel.
What channel is it on, Matt?
FX.
3D
FX
printed
is
guns.
now unstoppable. You want to talk about 3D printed guns?
Sure, we can mention that.
I don't really know what. That was like a long time ago. I put that on there.
Oh, I see. There's no link.
Probably why it was on there forever ago. I mean, so I guess the idea is that there was a gun site, or not a gun site. There was a website. So 3D printing, obviously.
You can't talk.
No, I'm just going wherever I want.
Like, super dry.
He did have to leave at 3:30 this morning.
Oh my god.
And I also
He
got
was
back at
probably
7.
left. He probably got up about the time you went to bed.
I'm waiting for one morning when I'm online and I still see Matt online from the night before. That's what I'm waiting for.
I've never logged into Gmail that late.
What are you usually logged into?
I'm not.
You're just awake staring at a blank computer screen?
Oh, I mean, I'll be like reading Reddit or reading
Oh.
Rainbow.
You're
Or
reading Rainbow?
Or reading read it.
playing, I don't know, something on the computer, but I'm not usually sitting in Gmail.
Well, you should
At
for the next
3 a.m.
couple of weeks. I will watch for
Do you
you.
not have it set to go to your phone?
No,
Who does that?
I don't want that shit. Dave does that.
I
Dave
do
has
that.
it. Dave has it with his phone. He has it with Steam logged in all the time mobile. Dave wants to be able to be reached in every way possible.
Just because I can be reached doesn't mean I'll reply.
That's kind of my reaction to it. I always have my phone logged into it.
I don't.
I do not either. I really don't want.
I ain't
people
got time for that
contacting me.
shit. I don't want my phone going off all goddamn day.
Yeah, everybody has my cell phone number. They can
But if
text
you
me.
have Gmail open though, it doesn't get pushed to your phone.
And every time Dave sends me a text message, he sends me an email instead.
You're the only one it happens to.
You're the one doing it, Dave, not me.
I have no idea why yours is that way.
You
I've
send
checked
a
it again.
text or
I send it as a text. I send it like how I send everybody else a text message. And Matt's gets sent as an email.
that's hilarious.
Well, Matt always calls me at my Google. Well, I never know when Matt calls me because
What's your phone number, Dave?
Don't give it out on the
Read
internet.
it out
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Does it end in 5298?
Yeah, Dave, what's your phone number and address?
I'm
Tell
willing
me.
to bet that's your Google
Give me your credit card number.
chat thingy number.
Oh my God! Please tell me you're sending. You're
there
texting
you
from
go.
your Google.
I sent you a Google text earlier today saying that
The TNG season 1?
TNG is season 3's.
Okay, so you did that on purpose.
Yes, that one I did on purpose.
Okay.
And did that come in as an email or as a text message?
No, that came as a text message.
Oh dear God. Technology, it's way too hard apparently.
I want to be
a Barbie girl
An
This
airport
guy.
ranger.
at the airport. What happens to this guy?
Is that dude getting held up with a shotgun?
Nope, he's not.
Yeah. Dude, he was
He
fast
ain't
on the draw.
fucking
The
around.
dude took off running.
That's awesome.
Can you shoot somebody after they pull a gun on you like that? If you take their gun?
If they're running
Once
away,
get
you
their
can't.
gun,
Yeah, I don't think once you take their gun, you're allowed to just. blast
Am I
them
allowed
in
to
the
chase
I
face.
don't
them
know
down and
about
beat
that.
their ass?
If they just pulled a gun on me, I'd
You
be
are allowed
pretty-
to shoot if you feel you are threatened.
I'd
if
feel
you shoot
pretty
somebody-
threatened still.
If you shoot somebody in the back, that does not count.
I'd be like, that dude totally could still have a pistol on him.
It's entirely.
It wouldn't
possible,
hold
I
up in court.
suppose.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Depends.
I'll find out.
Is it a gun made by a 3D printer or not?
You really want to get to this 3D printing guns, don't you?
I
really
just
don't
mentioned
care.
it. He doesn't care.
No. Then
All it is
what?
there was a website to 3D print gun parts. Although I don't really think a 3D printed gun would be that good because you still have to fire a bullet, which has a large explosion combined with a lot of heat. And 3D printing is usually made with plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine a 3D printed gun lasting very long, is all. Unless you have some super awesome plastics.
You get one shot.
I mean, there's a reason gun
Fancy.
barrels are made out of metal, not plastic.
Is it
Fancy Toma.
that they're making?
What?
Like, is it the barrel and everything?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so, from what I understand. Like, every single part is made out of or from a 3D printer.
Huh. I can't. Well, some plastics that can hold up to high heat and high pressures like that, but
Not for a long time, though, I
Should
would
get some
I couldn't imagine.
unobtainium.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like a normal gun where you can shoot it for.
That'd be okay though. I mean, if it was cheap enough.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
A
Just pack-
one shot gun.
one shotgun. I'm gonna pack 100 of them. Shoot 100 rounds. That'll get around the clip size regulations.
There you go.
I now carry 100 3D printed guns. They're all the size of a quarter. Well, I think that probably brings us to a close because
Yep.
I'm
So interesting.
really tired and I just want to go to bed.
Alrighty, chaps.
So that'll be it for this week on the CouncilCast.